Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. Today is March 9th, 2012. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right is Cody Bills. Cody, today USDA WASDE report came out. Let's jump right into the figures, what we're looking at here. U.S. wheat ending stocks were revised lower here. Lower food demand was compensated by higher export expectations, particularly for hard red winter and white wheat. Coarse grains were really unchanged. Not really a big story there. You're going to talk about that a little bit more later in the show. We did see some action in the corn market today. Kind of the big story, though, soybeans have been the leader to the upside. South American soybean figures were lowered today. Take a look at, here's what we're looking at. You can see the first column here is what the USDA was projecting back in February. Here, the March column is what we saw come out today. As you can see, Argentina lowered by about 1.5 million metric tons. Brazil, 3.5 million metric tons. So a fairly significant downgrade for Brazil, but not really a big shock to the market. You know, we saw AgroConsult come out and peg Brazilian soybean production 69.9 million metric tons late in February. AgWorld kind of on the lower end of those, 68 million metric tons. So this came in right in line with what the trade was kind of expecting. As you can see, we saw soybeans close down 3/4 cent. Not really a big story there. Can you take us through, though, what we kind of saw in the corn market today?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, corn market was where all the fun was being had, and if you look at the USDA numbers, it comes out, we start trickling a little bit lower, and you can see we were trading down a little bit below 635-ish, but all of a sudden we got like a spark. We started moving a whole lot higher, and there were some question marks in the office. What is driving it? Well, it turns out it's a rumor that China is in the market buying old crop corn, possibly 600 to 800,000 metric tons, and you can see the price action after that rumor was released there. Of course, we rallied up, and if you look at the 60-minute chart here, we rallied right up to about 650, big whole number, an area that was support, now is resistance. And of course, we also had dumping onto the market about that time was Informa planting acreage projections, and we actually saw 95.5 million acres going to corn. That's 800,000 more than they had previously projected, and about 1.5 million over what the USDA is using in their WASDE report right now. So I think that threw a wet towel into the corn market, and you saw some orderly consolidation off those highs over 650.
Yeah, Cody, right? As you said, we did trade higher than 650 on that old crop contract right now. If you're a corn producer out there and you're looking at maybe hedging some of this new crop, what are you thinking about right now? What's kind of the thought process you're going through?
Well, I think old crop stocks are going to be tight, and I think that what we're going to see here is obviously that spread between old crop and new crop continue to widen here, old crop having a premium over new crop. I'm concerned that this acreage report is going to really hurt the new crop, and I think that it may even drive some acres that had been intending to go to corn possibly to soybeans, but that's my concern right now. I guess what I'm saying is if you're profitable at these levels, it may be worthwhile to look at the cash market and possibly price some of that new crop corn now before we go into the acreage numbers, because to me, I just think that there's a big possibility we get a little bit of a surprise and it moves lower.
Yeah, certainly. It'll be interesting to watch that new crop corn-soybean spread here, or ratio, excuse me, as we come into that March 30th planting intentions report. As it pertains to planting intentions, I'll be coming out that day. I think that kind of wraps up our show here for Friday afternoon. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next Tuesday.
Have a good one.